welcome back to my channel, Albano-Waite Tarot. So for today's reading, we're going to do June predictions. So what's coming for you in June? As you can see, I have 3 piles in front of me. I have pile 1, which is Opalite, pile 2, Angelite, and pile 3, Hematite. So feel free to pause the video and pick the pile that draws you in or the crystal that draws you in, and when you're ready, the timestamps will be in the comment box below. There are a couple of things before we get into the readings. Thank you for all my subscribers who have already subscribed. I see my subscribership go up every day, and I am thankful to each and every one of you that hits that subscribe button. As always, if you do enjoy this video, please like, share and subscribe so I can grow my channel and continue to make these wonderful readings for you. And I've also opened an Etsy store for personal readings. I know a few of you asked me about this on my Instagram, so I have started this service now, and all of my available readings are at the Etsy store, Albano-Waite Tarot, and you can check them out there and purchase a reading, and I will do these personal readings for you. Okay, so without further ado, let's get started. Hello Group 1. So if you chose the Opalite, then this is your reading. I also apologise if my voice sounds a bit croaky today. I'm not sure why it's so hairy, but for some reason this is how I woke up. So hopefully it won't crack too much during this reading, but if it does, I apologise and just bear with me. So as you can see, I have some tarot cards here and some oracle cards, which as always I will refer to once I have read the tarot cards. And I also have an additional deck of cards, which are Lovers Oracle cards. And if this reading does lean towards a love reading, then I will pull these out as well for extra clarification. Okay, Group 1, so let's start with your tarot cards. So the first card that you have is the Page of Cups. You have the 7 of Cups. You have the 5 of Cups. So many cups. You have the 8 of Wands, also known as the 8 of Rods. And you have the 3 of Wands, also known as the 3 of Rods. Okay, and for your oracle cards, Group 1, you have Longing for Home, Belonging, and the original Lightworkers. Transformation, Things are changing at a cellular level, Deep Healing. And Seeding the Light, Laying Foundations, and Divine Plan. Okay, Group 1, so give me a second here. So Group 1, when I was shuffling your cards and drawing the ones for this group, not that I never see the cards, I just collect them all up and put them in a pile, and then I read them with you. But I always get some channeled messages sometimes when I'm actually shuffling the cards. And for you, when I was drawing your cards, I heard choices even before, as I said, I see any of the cards. And I can see here straight away that you have the 7 of Cups. Now the 7 of Cups is all about choices. It's all about different offerings. And you can see here that there are 7 different cups, and each cup has a different offering, I guess, inside it. And, you know, this is about a person who has a lot of choices, But often when we see this card, it also means that there's a lot of confusion. That you have so many different choices and offerings and possibilities that it becomes overwhelming. And that's what I'm sensing for you, Group 1. I feel like in June, June generally is going to be a pretty heavy month for every single person. Whether you're doing this astrologically, so, in terms of horoscopes and star signs, even if you watch an astrological video, like another tarot reader or something that talks about like actual horoscopes and does like a Pisces reading and a Cancer reading and that kind of thing. Or you just watch astrologers who talk about like June predictions based on astrology and astronomy. But regardless, we're all going to tell you the same thing. June is going to be a pretty heavy month for all of us because there's a few things happening astronomically that are going to affect us. So I believe there are like 2 eclipses happening, one at the beginning of June, one at the end of June. And I think Mercury is also going into retrograde, like around the 19th of June. So, there are a couple of planets shifting. We have a few eclipses, and honestly, all of these things can also cause some unrest or some shifting or changing or transformation. So, be aware that generally, we are going through some astronomical changes as well, which means that in terms of how we're all feeling and just opportunities are going to come about. Obviously, with Mercury retrograde, it does sometimes mean that communication slows down. But generally, on the whole, I feel like June, there's a lot coming. It's also, we're moving into summer, so summer solstice. There is a lot going on. So just generally, it's going to be pretty heavy. For you, I feel like with all these choices, you're also a very confused person. I feel like you're being pulled in different directions. And you are asked to make a choice, but for a lot of you, I feel like with this 5 of Cups, that for some of you, essentially for you, the battle is over. And to be honest, the war hasn't really begun, if that makes sense. Like, there is so much more that needs to come out of this situation. For a lot of you, you'll know what these choices are. For some of you, they will be love related. For others of you, they might be career related. For some of you, you might be looking for a job because of the current climate, and maybe some of you were made redundant or furloughed or lost your job entirely, and you're looking for a replacement. And so as a result, you went pretty hardcore on the job applications, and then you've got lots of choices on which company to pick, on which job to go for, something like that. For others of you, I'm also sensing that June's going to be a month when, and don't quote me on this because this isn't like something that is to do with the shifts in astronomy and like the planets or anything, but I personally am an intuitive reader, and my intuition is telling me that for some of you, and not just for some of you, I mean the collective, so this isn't just specific to your group, but a few of us are going to get someone coming back from the past, or a few people coming back from the past. And in all honesty, that doesn't mean that they're going to come, all guns blazing, like riding in like the Knight of Cups and just basically like telling us that, oh, I've always had a thing for you and, can we do something about it? Nothing like that. For some of you, that will be the case. Like, exes might come back, or the one that got away, I guess, kind of like people that you wanted to date, but the timing was off. They will come back. And also people who just had an interest in you, but never really voiced it, or if they did voice it, you were like, yeah, you know what, I'm not really feeling it. Anyway, admirers, just general admirers, are going to come back, and some of them might get a little bit flirty. They won't, it's harmless flirting, you know, for some of them they'll have families and like partners, but yeah, it's just a very flirty Gemini season. And so that might also happen. So for some of you, these choices could actually be admirers. For others of you, as I said, they're career-based, you know, they're job offers. For some of you, possibly you have to like choose in terms of like movement. So like maybe you're moving somewhere, but there isn't really any like voyage, traveling, like big move decision cards here. So I feel like, you know, if that is something that you guys are going through and you're considering moving, for you that might be the choice that you need to make. But for most of you, it's going to be career or love. Yeah, I'm not like, none of these cards are specifically pushing me towards one or the other. So it's a mixed bag here. For those of you who are watching, as I said, it's going to be one or the other. But, you know, with this Five of Cups, I'm feeling that, you know, you feel like the battle is lost. So for a lot of you, maybe your first choices are no longer available. Maybe like for instance, if it's a job, the job that you wanted, like maybe they didn't give you an offer, but like others did, and you're kind of like, I don't know, I really, really had my heart set on this one. But remember, everything happens for a reason. And maybe for you, you thought that the one that you really wanted was the right one for you, but actually you didn't get it because something better is out there, and that's one of your offers. And that's why those offers came through to you, because they're the ones that were supposed to come through. They're the ones that are going to change your life, or move your life in a different direction that's going to help you to grow. That's what we all really desire, is growth. And, you know, sometimes we feel that we really want something because it sounds like really interesting, or it sounds like exactly what we want, but it turns out that actually, had we taken that job, we might not have been happy. Maybe the person who was your direct report, you might not have got on with. Maybe you would have had a personality clash with them, but you could have never known that until, you know, obviously you started working with them. But maybe this is the universe's way of diverting you to avoid those kind of uncomfortable situations and potential conflicts. So even though the job sounded amazing, maybe the person that you're going to be reporting to, you know, you just wouldn't have clicked, and it would have caused a lot of friction, and you would have ended up leaving anyway, and probably it would have left a pretty sour taste in your mouth. So just understand that sometimes when we don't get the things we want, it's for a good reason. It's because we're not supposed to get that, because there's something better for us out there. And though we don't see its potential, we notice it later on. You know, you'll be in that job like 6 months down the line, you'll be like, yeah, you know what, I'm actually really glad I took this one and I didn't get that other job. And you might even hear about somebody who actually did take the job that you wanted. You know, they got the offer and not you, and they took it, and it turned out to be a disaster. And you could be sitting there thinking, well, I actually really like my job now, so I'm really glad that, you know, I didn't end up getting that one, because had I got it, I would have instantly said yes, because I thought that was the right one for me. And actually it turned out that it would have been a nightmare. So instead of concentrating on these 3 cups that are spilt, you need to turn around and concentrate on these 2, because these are the ones that are right for you, and the ones that are spilt for a reason. So just understand that when you get disappointing news, Try and understand why it might have come through. Maybe tell yourself, everything happens for a reason, and maybe this is the right decision for me. And then look at the offers that are in front of you and actually make a decision with them. Because, I think also it's like here, where you're so busy concentrating on your spilt cups, you're not really paying attention to the cups that are available to you. And as a result, you're kind of neglecting what is actually on offer. And these are the better offers for you. But because you're not focusing on them and you're neglecting them, you're not appreciating what's in front of you. So I feel like that's what you need to do. You need to look at what you have in front of you and what offers are available, rather than crying over the ones that you wanted but you didn't get. So with the 8 of Wands, or the 8 of Rods, again, this is a card about overcoming burdens, overcoming like hardships, and I feel like for you this is all about, it's also an 8 card, and this was a 7 of Cups card, so it's like these choices, you're then finding the answers, getting over the burdens, because you're moving into 8 from 7. So that's already progress from 7 to 8. And then on top of that, like this card specifically talks about overcoming burdens and just generally just making the right choices, which for you is so profound because your reading is all about choices. So to get the card that tells you that, you will make the right choice, that's really, really encouraging. And then finally with the Page of Cups and the 3 of Wands as well. So Page of Cups again is all about an offer. So I feel like the Page of Cups for you is eventually you will sift through all of your choices and you will make a choice. This is the one that you'll pick. And, obviously you got 7 of Cups and then you got Page of Cups. So it's still in the same suit, and I feel like it's saying that you progress from your 7, you have all this choice, but then you eventually decide on the one that you want, which is this Page of Cups, this cup that he's holding. And of course it's you advancing because Page comes after the 7, so that's you again progressing. You're going through this journey and you finally make a decision and you settle on this one cup. And again, with the 3 of Wands, it's very similar. It's about looking into the future, looking over the horizon. And you can see that although he has 3 wands here, he only has his hand on one of them. And again, this is about you having finally made a choice. You deciding this is the one that's going to take me forth on my voyage. And yeah, it's about you looking ahead, about having a future plan. And I think you do take this time of reflection in June to make a decision. Now, you won't have a lot of time to make a decision because, of course, if it's something like a job offer, you will have a ticking clock, I suppose, in order to accept your offer. But you will have time to reflect, and honestly, as you're going through, even now, we're right at the end of May, and like we're pretty much the beginning of June, so already you're already reflecting on it, like, what is it that I want? You're kind of already doing this. You're looking into the future, you're looking over the horizon, and you're thinking to yourself, what is it that I want? What is it that I want my future landscape to look like? And eventually you will decide and you will make the right choice. So hang tight, because it might be a bit of a process this month, but you will ultimately end the month with the right decision, and in a much more stable position and a lot more comfortable than what you might feel now. So that kind of takes me into this longing for home. I feel like this is more about stability. I feel like what you're longing for is stability. You know, right now there's a lot of things up in the air. You don't have that security. And again, like I said, it could be because of financial security. It could be because of a relationship. You don't feel very secure in your single life, and what you really want is a nice stable relationship or a nice stable financial situation. And that's your longing for home, because home is all about comfort and stability and security, and that's what you're looking for in this situation, which you will find. By the end of the month, you will have a better idea of what your situation is, and I feel like you'll have less stress and you'll be a lot more comfortable in the situation, or you'll have more of that security. So you have transformation. Things are changing at a cellular level, deep healing. So yeah, again, this is about your reflection. This is all about you going in and really deciding what is it that I want. And I feel like this is really in line with this three of wands card, where you're looking over the horizon. This is all about transformation. You're looking into the future. What do I want my future landscape to look like? And as a result, you're changing on a deeper level. You're changing within in order to change your exterior, because right now you don't know where you're going to land, and a lot of it is up in the air, so you can't really change your physical landscape, because right now there are too many choices, and for some of you the choices haven't even come yet. It's things that you'll be hearing in the next couple of weeks, but you haven't actually heard anything yet. So right now it's just, there's too much uncertainty around it, but you're changing within because you're changing your mindset, you're changing the way you react to things, you're changing a lot of emotions that weren't serving you. That's your transformation. And it's all about setting the light, laying foundations. Yeah. So again, this is exactly it. It goes back to this 3 of Wands card, future landscapes. What do you want it to look like? And setting the foundations now. And that's why you're looking so far beyond, because you have a future plan. And in order to start seeing your future landscape grow, you have to start setting the seeds, laying the foundations, and then you have to maintain your landscape. But first you have to lay down the seeds, and that's what it's asking you to do as well. So Group 1, there's a lot of focusing this month. You have a lot of choice. You have some mental clarity that you need to find, but you need to go through a spiritual and mental journey to get there. My main advice for you this month is don't focus on your spilt cups. This five of cups is really the card that's standing out to me for you this month. Don't allow these amazing opportunities to pass you by because you're too busy looking at these spilt cups or these spilt opportunities. The opportunities that you're receiving for a reason. So focus on them and make a decision from the ones that you have, because they will be your saving grace. They will be the ones that will actually help you to grow and advance you into the future. And the war is not over, even though the battle may be lost, or you feel like the battle is lost because you don't have the choices that you wanted. Forget about it, because you still have the war to win. So focus less on these spilt cups and focus more on what you actually have in front of you. And really just focus on your future landscape. Okay, group 1, that was your reading. I hope it resonated. If it did, please like, share, and subscribe. And I will catch you in the next reading. Thanks for watching. Hello, group 2. So if you chose the Angelite crystal, then this is your reading. So, as always, I will be reading the tarot cards and then reading your oracle cards. And I also have an additional deck here. So if I feel that there is a love element or this is leaning towards a love reading, then I will also use them for clarification. Okay, group 2, so I'll look at your tarot cards first. And the first card you have is the 6 of Swords. The Death card. Let's not panic. The Queen of Pentacles. The 2 of Pentacles. The 8 of Swords. The 9 of Wands. And the 2 of Wands. Okay, and for your oracle cards, you have don't dim to fit in, how you are dimming your light in order to fit in. The Crumbling, what are you clinging onto? So this is the Tower, this is equivalent to the Tower card, so you have Death and Tower. The Great Gathering, it's all coming together, intuitive hits, soul tribe. All right, group 2. So, okay, you have the Crumbling. As I said, this is essentially the Tower card, and you have the Death card. This is not something to panic about. I know often when people see the Death card or they see the Tower card, they're like panic stations. That's not necessary, but seeing as they are here, I will address them first to allay any concerns that you guys have. But basically, death is all about endings. It's about, we'll call it spring cleaning, right? It's about shifting all of the things that aren't serving you anymore. It's all about clearing the space to welcome new things in. So yes, the card is a little bit ominous, but it's not, when I see the Death card, I actually celebrate it in a way, because it means that I am clearing my space, I am shifting things, I am getting rid of things that aren't serving me anymore. It's stale energy, and when we have stale energy, it means we can't move forward. And you know, we all want to move forward, we all want to progress, we all want to keep growing, we want a steady flow of everything, of happiness, of money, of friendships and relationships. We just want a steady flow of energy and goodness, good energy coming through into our lives. But often some of the energy that we used to have becomes stale and stagnant, but we don't notice it. And that energy can kind of block any new energy that's trying to come through. It's like putting a bolt on a door. Yeah, like, you know, there's no free flow of air if you just bolt your door and you lock it in. And sorry, I apologize, my voice has been cracking up today, so just bear with me if it does crack up. But yeah, essentially it's like bolting down a door and you're not allowing the energy to flow freely. And so as much as you might see this Death card and it looks kind of like, oh, it's death, yes, it has some very harsh colors, you know, with the reds, and yes, it has like a deathly vibe, but honestly, it's all about shifting your energies. It's about releasing things that don't serve you anymore. Now, for some of you, you might literally be doing a spring clean. You know, we're coming to the end of spring, moving into the summer. You have the summer solstice coming this month, and like, for a lot of you, quite frankly, you're probably doing a spring clean. For some of you, you know, you might literally be doing a spring clean because you're shifting your wardrobe around. You know, we no longer need our coats and our hats and scarves, and it's time to put them away, and then we're like opening up depending on how your wardrobe is. But like, for some of you, you might put your summer clothes in a suitcase, and then, you know, around this time you open up the suitcase and you shift your wardrobe around. I know I will be doing that. So literally that is also a shifting, because you're shifting things that no longer serve you. So coats are no longer going to really serve you when it's like 100 degrees outside, you know? So again, it's just about clearing the space to allow for things that better serve you in this season. You know, it's about a seasonal shift. So again, don't panic if you see this card, because honestly, I celebrate it. It means that I am making way for better things. I'm making way for a cleaner space, and just generally to allow for new things to come in. So the same with the crumbling, yeah? This is the Tower card. So, okay, that means there's going to be a sudden shift, some sort of sudden change. Now, I mentioned this to group 1, and I will say it to all the groups. June is going to be a pretty intense month for many reasons. We have 2 eclipses, we have Mercury going into retrograde, we have the summer solstice. There is a lot happening in June. There is a lot of shifts happening in June, both astrologically, astronomically, you know, there is just a lot of change. So as a result, you know, it is going to be a pretty heavy, intense month for everybody. If you want to know more about it, you know, definitely watch like some astrologers or even other tarot readers who do their readings based on horoscopes, because they will also tell you very similar things, but they'll be able to tell you from an angle of of astrology. But yeah, essentially June is going to be a very heavy month. A lot of changes are going to happen, a lot of shifts, transformations, just a lot going on. And also globally, I feel like with this current global situation, you know, places are opening up more, people are moving into like phases where they can actually like go outside again. So again, it's going to be a lot of shift and change in the world. So the Tower card is all about sudden changes, and sudden changes aren't always bad. I mean, yes, again, it's a very ominous looking card, but you know, these changes happen for a reason, these shifts happen for a reason, and it's all about finding the light in the darkness. You know, because this is a pretty dark card, but look, if in the little crack you can see this beautiful garden, you can see all these wonderful flowers blossoming. But, you know, had this tower not moved, like, you wouldn't see it. So it's basically telling you, yes, there's darkness, but there's light at the end of the tunnel, essentially, or at the end of the tower, or in the middle of the tower. So again, it's all about finding the light in the darkness. And it's interesting because here you have don't dim to fit in, and it's saying how are you dimming your light to fit in. So again, it's all about finding the light. And for some of you, you're getting consumed by the darkness and you're dimming your light as a result. This month is all about shining. It's all about showing who you are. You are this Queen of Pentacles here, but for some of you, you've lost your confidence. And I feel like for you, group 2, it's all about finding yourself again. It's all about finding your confidence, finding your strength. You know, I feel like also with this this 8 of Swords, that you're also blinded. You're blinded to your own abilities, your own personality traits that make you shine, your gifts. You're basically blinded to them, and honestly, with this card, this 6 of Swords, it's all about journeying and voyaging, but it's also about running away. And, you know, I feel like this has 2 meanings for you, this card. The first is, for some of you, you're so blinded to your own strength and your own abilities and your own gifts that instead you choose to run away from the problems, to run away from the truth. You know, it's easier to just run and hide than it is to actually face it head on. For others of you, this is about taking a journey. You need to take a journey, and this could be spiritually, physically. I mean, not many. I don't think we're really taking any kind of traveling journeys anytime soon, because, you know, there's still a travel ban. But yeah, I mean, as I said, you know, a lot of us are able to get out a bit more because parts of the world are opening up again, and this might be you journeying to, you know, your friend's house, or just journeying into the city centre or something. I don't know. It doesn't have to be a really long journey, but for others of you, it is a spiritual journey. It's about finding you again. You know, you are this Queen of Pentacles, as I said, but for a lot of you, you've dimmed your light. You're hiding away. You're not showing everyone all your greatness, and you're the kind of person that does shine their light, who is a very confident person, who isn't afraid of being in the spotlight. And that doesn't mean for some of you, you could be actors or something like that, but for a lot of you, it's just about being a confident person who doesn't mind being admired or being an inspiration. You know, for a lot of you, you actually like being inspirational, and you like being able to help others through your own life. So if you have an Instagram, or maybe you're even YouTubers, or you share your life in some way, and recently you haven't been posting as much, or you haven't been producing any kind of creative material because you honestly just feel like a bit of a fake, because you don't feel like that confident Queen of Pentacles. You don't feel like you're very inspirational. Something has knocked you, and that's what this Tower card is telling you. It's going to shake you up. It's going to rattle you. It's going to pick you up, shake you, and say, you are amazing. Why do you think that you're not amazing? So I feel like that's the shake-up that you guys need to really remember who you are, to remember how amazing you truly are, you know. And with this 2 of Wands here, you know, he has the world in his hand, and so do you, but you've lost the confidence. Somewhere, somehow, you guys have lost the confidence. And, you know, with these 2-2 cards, 2-2, you essentially are starting a new journey again. So again, it goes to this Six of Swords where I was saying that you have some journey to take. 2 is always about the beginning, new beginnings. And I feel like you guys are going to start a new journey. So there's definitely new beginnings involved this month. But there are also endings because, again, you have the 9 of Wands and 9 is about completion. So I feel like with this Death card and with this 9 of Wands, you're ending something to begin something new. And that's how it works. That's a circle of everything, circle of life. Just generally, that's how a circle works. You have to end to begin. So you're definitely ending something to begin something new. And I feel like, you guys are going on a journey of sorts. But, you need to not be blinded to the person that you truly are. You are this Queen of Pentacles, but right now you're blinded to it. You don't see it. Again, here, don't dim your light to fit in. Again, she has her hands in front of her eyes. You have a blindfold over here. It's all about the same thing. You're choosing not to see it, and you think it's easier, but it's not. And then it says it's all coming together. So I feel like with this new beginning here, it's talking about soul tribe. So it's saying that, maybe you need to reach out to people that you're close to, people who can help you, like your soul tribe, people who understand you. Maybe they can help you to shine your light again, to really remind you of the person that you truly are. And this could just be as simple as they take you out, as I said, things are opening up. Maybe you meet up with a friend or two and you go to a restaurant and they just remind you, they talk to you, and maybe they reminisce about times past, and as a result, it helps you to remember the person that you are. Maybe they give you a pep talk and they say, hey, so I've noticed recently that you haven't really been posting, or you haven't really been sharing your life, but what's up, And I feel like for some of you as well, you've kind of gone inwards. You've closed yourself off to people and the outside world, but you've also in some ways closed yourself off to yourself. So again, this is all about journeying to find yourself again. So group 2, it sounds like that's what June is going to be about for you, taking a journey of some sort. You really need to find yourself. So for you, this 6 of Swords card is really, really prominent because you are taking a journey. You're taking a journey of some kind. For a lot of you, this is going to be a spiritual journey. For others of you, it's going to be a physical journey. But this journey is going to lead you back to you. So whether that's you have to physically go somewhere to remind you of who you are, or you need to go within to remind you of who you are, whichever journey is going to get you to remember the amazing person that you are and allow you to shine your light again, that's the journey that you'll be taking. And, as I said, you'll be doing a lot of spring cleaning. You'll be clearing the clutter. This could also be people, maybe they're not serving you anymore, and you finally realize that. So that could be another thing that you do. It's not just about clearing things. It could be also clearing relationships that no longer serve you. But I feel like once you do this spring clean, or you shift your energies and you allow these new energies to flow through, you will definitely start moving on the right track. You'll start journeying in the direction that you need to go in order to guide you back to yourself. So group 2, that was your reading. I hope it resonated. If it did, please like, share, subscribe and comment in the comment box below. And as always, thank you for watching and I will catch you in the next reading. Group 3. So if you chose hematite as your stone, then this is your reading. So I'll begin by reading your tarot cards and then I'll move on to the oracle cards. If I feel that this is a love reading, I will also be using these oracle cards to clarify. So let's begin by reading your tarot cards, group 3. So the first card that we have is the Lovers. The Empress. Justice. The Four of Cups. The Ten of Cups. The Page of Swords. And the Ace of Cups. Okay. And for your oracle cards, you have Deep Replenishment, Retreat, Rest, Be Held. Your guidance is Divinely Guided. Divine Orchestration, Helpers in Subtle Realms. And No, Wait, Postpone, Pause, Say No. Oof. Okay, so there is definitely a love element here, and not just because the Lovers card is here. You know, we have the Page of Swords, we have the Ace of Cups, we have the Ten of Cups, and the Justice card. And even the Four of Cups can lean that direction. So honestly, most of the cards here are leaning towards a relationship of sorts. So I will be using these oracle cards as well for your reading. But let me begin with the ones that are in front of us. So before I read the cards, and I've said this to the other group, so I will definitely say it to you as well. June is going to be a pretty heavy month. It's going to be quite intense. There are a few astronomical things happening, astrological things happening. We have 2 eclipses, one at the start of June, one at the end of June. We have the summer solstice, and we have Mercury going into retrograde. Sun is also moving into Cancer. So there is a lot of things happening if you believe in like astrology and astronomy. So generally June is going to be pretty heavy in that sense. Also it means that there's going to be a lot of transformations and shifts as well happening. So you know, there might be sudden changes, there might be, and I did say this to, I think, group 2, but I feel like as a collective, and not just specifically to your group or to this reading, but I am an intuitive tarot reader, and intuitively I feel like for some of us in the world, someone or something or things or people from our past may be returning. And for some of us, that might be a good thing. For others, not so much. You know, this will be, I'm sensing admirers from your past. So, and bear with me, my voice is croaking and cracking for some reason today. So if it does break, just bear with me. But for some reason, yeah, it's going to be admirers. So this could be people that have previously shown an interest in you. It could be exes. It could be the ones that got away because, you know, the timing wasn't great. And so nothing could happen between you two. So maybe they're coming back around and maybe the timing is better this time. Or generally people who just had their eye on you, who found you attractive. And, you know, there might be a bit of like light flirting involved. So some of these people, they might actually be married or they might have partners, but they're going to be flirtatious anyway. And yeah, for some of them it's lighthearted, you know, no harm, no foul kind of thing. They'll say a couple of things, you can just dismiss it. Or just, you know, lightheartedly like joke back and nothing comes of it. For others, you know, people are going to come in and they're going to come in with an intention, with an offer, with something more serious, more solid. And yeah, I mean, it's up to you whether you're in a position to accept it. For some of you, you might be in a relationship and you can't. For others of you, it might be someone that you've been waiting for all along and finally the timing is right. Because your guidance is divinely guided here. And it says divine orchestration. So for some of you, this person who's coming back is actually coming back because it's finally time for you to be with them. And that's coming through with a lot of cards. You have the Lover's card, and of course usually the Lover's card is an indication of a romantic relationship, soulmate, sometimes can mean twin flames, but yeah, it's about that really deep spiritual connection with somebody. The Empress card is all about maternal instinct, about maternity, about motherhood. So for some of you, this person's going to come in with an offer of marriage and raising a family together. With the Justice card, I'm sensing this is, again, to do with them coming back from the past and you finally getting the justice that you deserve. Because for some of you, this person broke up with you. For others, this person may have even like cheated or broken your heart in some way, but they've changed. They've kind of learned the error of their ways and they're coming back around this time with a very serious offer. Now I feel like this Four of Cups here is you. I feel like you have offers and then you have somebody else who's offering you something as well. And you're sitting there and you're like, I actually don't know if I want any of these at all. Or if, or it could be that, you know, they all sound pretty good and you don't know which one to choose. Now with this Four of Cups here, you can also see there's an Ace of Cups. And if you look at this cup, it's coming from a cloud, and then again here you have it as well. So I'm sensing that this offer that's coming through, this new one, and for some of you, you know, this could be you, you're sitting there, you have these offers, you're like, you know what, none of these are really doing it for me. Like, they're great people, but honestly, I don't see this going long term. For some of you, this offer that's coming in is actually going to be the person that you compare everyone to. So there's been this one relationship or this one person that's taken your breath away and, you know, they just don't compare to anybody else. And for most of us, we've all got that one person. So this might be the person that's coming back and you are sitting there with your arms crossed, stubborn face, like, I don't really like any of these other offers. They are nice people, but genuinely there's no chemistry. And then all of a sudden this fourth cup comes from somewhere, and I feel like that's this Ace of Cups. Now, Ace of Cups is all about divine intervention as well, and you have your guidance is divinely guided and divine orchestration. And divine orchestration is what I think this Ace of Cups is. You know, this is about divine timing. It is about the universe stepping in and offering this to you. And usually when you get that kind of offer, it means that it's the person you're supposed to be with. It's usually that your soulmate, and it's the one that you've always wanted, and the one that the universe feels is the right one for you. So yeah, usually this Ace of Cups, when it represents an offering, it's usually a soulmate. You know, it's usually a soulmate, a twin flame, somebody who really understands you and who the universe feels is the right person for you. So this is why I'm saying, for a lot of you, I was already sensing this way before your reading, but yeah, I have been sensing that June is going to bring back some memories, shall we say. And for some of you, this is actually a good thing, because you actually want this person, you've been waiting for this person, you've tried to have other relationships, they haven't really worked out, or they just haven't compared. I think that's the problem. Like, you are comparing it to this one epic romance and nothing else compares, and so you've been waiting and hoping and praying for this justice, for this person to come back around, and they finally are. And with this Page of Swords here, that's them fighting for you. That's them ready to fight for you. I mean, there's not really any other way of saying it, you know. It's a very chivalrous thing that they want to do. They're ready to come in and they're ready to prove to you that they want you. And if that's what you want as well, then this Ten of Cups says that you will be very happy together. You know, you will have that dream that you've always wanted of a lovely house with a beautiful family and the person that you love. And so for some of you, you know, June is really going to be a very fulfilling month. It's going to bring you offers and wishes from the past. You are going to get your justice. You know, as I said, for a lot of you, the person that's coming back in, even though they are who you've wanted, they've hurt you in the past. And with this justice, I feel like an apology will come. You know, they have learned the error of their ways, and they know that they really hurt you. But with the Page of Swords, they're willing to fight, and they're willing to gain your trust again. And with the Justice card, this is, you know, you finally getting the justice. You finally getting what you deserve instead of what you actually got at the time. Now, for some of you, this person may be coming back, but it's not what you want. And that's more what these cards are talking about. Yes, the storyline is very similar to what I said. You know, you will get your justice. This person will come back. They will apologize. This person has a relationship and intention in mind. You have always been the person on their mind, and they haven't forgotten you. They're willing to fight for you, and, you know, they want to offer you marriage, stability, motherhood, a family. This is ultimately what they want to offer you. They come in with an offer with this Ace of Cups. However, the outcome will be different. So for some of you, this is exactly what you've wanted. You know, it's divine timing, it's divinely orchestrated, and you basically get your fairy tale, and, you know, June is going to be the start of creating this fairy tale that you want. Now, for some of you, you were so hurt by this person that although you get your justice from this person, you're not interested anymore. For some of you, maybe even if the universe thinks this person's right for you, maybe you're not ready to forgive. So perhaps you're in a relationship right now that you're happy in, and you're like, no, I don't want this person back. And that's what this no is all about. It's about saying no. You know, at the end of the day, it is your choice, and if you don't want this person back in your life, you can just say no. And I feel like for a lot of you, June is going to be quite, like I said, intense, and by the end of it, for a lot of you, you're going to want this deep replenishment. You're going to want to retreat, to rest, to put it back behind you where it belongs. You know, for a lot of you, like, the past is in the past, it needs to stay there. I have no intentions of unearthing it. I have no intentions of walking down memory lane. It was a very painful experience for me. Yes, I love this person, but they completely destroyed me. And I'm not sure I want to take the risk of being with this person again, or giving them a chance to destroy me again, you know? So for some of you, you're going to say no, and you're going to, by the end of June, be so exhausted from all of the intensity that this month has to bring, that you're going to be looking for a deep replenishment. You're going to retreat, and you're going to need some rest. So there are two storylines here. Although the story itself is the same, essentially, the outcomes are going to be slightly different for both of you. Now, I will just pull a couple of cards from this oracle deck just to get a few more clarifiers, but honestly, I feel like through these cards alone, we have a pretty good storyline. So, yeah, I'll actually pick this up on the floor. Okay, so interesting. We have Axe. So again, this is about cutting this person out of your life. So this goes with this, you know, storyline. As I was saying, for some of you, you're going to say no. You're going to be like, I'm done with this. I don't want to, it says here, stop the pattern. And I feel like that's what's going to happen. You know, you're like, I'm done. This person's in the past for a reason. They're an ex for a reason. So I'm not interested. For others of you who are open to it, you have the butterfly. Be lighthearted, finding out things coming to light. So this is exactly what I'm talking about. Things are coming to light. Yeah, someone's coming in with this offer, and they're going to be pretty obvious about their intentions. So for those of you who are interested, it is saying that you will get some sort of call, text, email. And, you know, this person might even invite you out for a coffee date. I mean, you know, things are opening up in the world now, and, you know, they might invite you for a coffee date, but essentially they want to walk you down memory lane. They want to remind you of all the wonderful things, and they're going to start off with friendship. They're going to take it pretty slow because they know that, you know, going full gung-ho and just coming in, like, with a extreme offer possibly may not be the best way to go about this, just because they know they've hurt you in the past and they don't know how you feel about them. For a lot of you, you know, there's been this separations here, but yeah, for a lot of you, you haven't actually spoken to this person in a hell long time. And because of it, it's very risky for them to just come in and say, oh my God, and just like kind of blurt their feelings out to you, because for some of you, you're going to be like, yeah, that's wonderful, but, you know, what about all that hurt that you gave me? So they're afraid that if they come in too strong, that you will just ignore them. So they will take it easy. They'll kind of send you a text, a call, an email. They'll feel it out, you know, see if you respond. If you do, like, hey, they'll see how you respond. For some of you, be like, hi, yeah, great to hear from you. For others of you, be like, oh my God, it's been such a long time, like, how have you been? And then you'll start a conversation. The more you converse, at some point they'll say, you know what, this is really great that we're catching up. How about we do it in person? So, yeah, it's just confirming exactly what the cards have already said. For some of you, this is exactly the person you've been waiting for, the person that's been the one for you, and they are finally ready to be with you. And for others of you, you're like, I am so done with this person. This person completely destroyed me. I mean, great, I got my justice, I got the apology I've been waiting for all this time, but quite frankly, that's the closure I needed, and I'm done on this, so bye Felicia, kind of thing. So separation, and that's what I think is basically between you guys. I feel like this is the phase that you're in right now, which I already mentioned with this axe card, but yeah, separation. For, I think, probably a good amount of you guys, if not all of you, have been through a separation phase with this person. For a lot of you, this person who's coming back, you haven't actually spoken to since you had this breakup, or since you stopped talking to them. So it'll be interesting. They will come in, as I said, they will take it, they will step lightly, they will be light-hearted, and try and keep it very casual to begin with, and then see how it goes. Eventually they will move into, hey, let's meet up in person, and it will go from there. And for others of you who are just done with this person, just be aware they will be coming back in, but you know, you don't have to do anything with it. You can ignore them, you can tell them, that's great, thanks for the apology, but you know, I'm done. And I wish you the best of luck. And that's it. So, group 3, that was your reading. I hope it resonated. If it did, please like, share, and subscribe, and comment in the comment box below. As always, thanks for watching, and I hope to catch you in the next reading.